Hey, you guys, we are back with another story time from my bedroom. I don't know where. This is the cult series. He ha he ha he. I don't know where I come up with these songs from, you guys. Y'all, I'm not gonna let you see my bed today because I am literally jumping in the bed when I get finished with this. I just actually woke up. I fell asleep by mistake. So before we get started, you guys go ahead and click the bell for notifications. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It is totally in your budget because it is free. And go ahead and leave comments and give the videos a thumbs up if you enjoy it. If you leave a comment, I'll definitely try to get back with you. I want to say hey out there to Jane, girl. Hey. So you guys, we are coming with another cult series, you guys. Oh my God. Now I'm not going to be talking too expressively today because I had to go to the dentist today. I'm telling you, I had to go to the dentist. And my dentist I think she's some kind of Leatherface, you guys. She loves a drill. Honey, the sister loves a drill. So my mouth is a little sore, but anywho, we're going to get through it anyways. So you guys, we were starting off with this cult series. We're coming to the end of this cult series. Be honest, some of the things I won't tell. Some of the things I could tell, but I'm not going to tell. There was a whole lot going on, from things that were sexual, in leadership. Honey, it was bad. It was women with women, men with Sunday school students when they got older. It was bad, you guys. It was bad. So I'll skip over that because I won't tell that story, but those stories, we'll go ahead and let that one go. It's juicy, y'all, but I'm not going to do that one. So you guys, I told you I had been there for 12 years and it has started coming. It was escalating. One thing about a bad situation, it's going to grow. It is not going to stay small. It is going to grow, and grow some more. And it grew. It grew to the point of other people outside of the church knew. I was starting to see some things that I never saw before. Maybe this was an awakening for me. Other people began to, some of me and the other sisters in the church, remember how I told you they would pit us against one another? Now we were beginning to see past the fog. I don't know why it took 12 years to finally see past the fog. Maybe it's just for a testimony to tell somebody you can make it out of it, or I don't know. But we had mixed feelings when we all came out of it. I questioned a lot of things. I even questioned God. Why did you let me sit there and not be able to see it? And me and the other sisters began to connect with one another. And we began to put things together. We began to have conversations about what was said about you. Well, what was said about me? Well, I didn't say that about you. Well, you didn't say that about me. But I was told this. So now here it comes. And one thing, when someone's sowing discord or mess or all that stuff, one thing they don't want is unity. Because you know what? When you get some unity, you can get the truth behind some matters. And they didn't want us to come together and connect with one another, because now we would know the truth about them. So we started hanging out and we started talking with one another. We started going to dinners, like dinner and lunch with one another. And by this time, our eyes was open. And I remember one time, me and the two other sisters were driving to the gas station. And when but one thing about somebody pulling the scales off your eyes, honey, you start seeing everything. And when I began to see everything, we were driving to the gas station, and we were all in the car with one another. And before I got out to go pay for gas inside, I told them, I said, I'm getting out of there. And they just kind of looked at me, because nobody ever said, I'm getting out. So, and mind you, I was a pillar in that church. I had been there since like the very first original member. And if I leave, it's like, if she leaves, can we make it? Sometimes it takes just one person to finally make an escape route, and then other people will come. It's kind of like Harriet Tubman. Believe me, I don't equate myself to Harriet Tubman by far, honey. But sometimes it just takes that one fearless person to do something, and then other people who have a desire to do it will just be like, you know what? She did it, we can do it. So they're going to go. So, and they looked at me and I said, I'm going to leave. Now, I didn't know when I was going to leave. I didn't have no escape plan to leave. I was really scared to leave, but I was speaking past my fear. I just knew with all this revelation that was coming out, ain't no way I'm going to sit here, you guys. So this is what got me to finally leave after 12 years. Now, mind you, they will always tell you if you ever leave, you were going to be cursed. And so you thought like your life was going to go to hell. So there was always people that had left in times past, and then we would get information about maybe something like they were in a car wreck, or we found out something, maybe they got sick, or diagnosed with an illness, or someone in their home passed away, or someone like one of their children may have got locked up. I'm just giving scenarios. And when we would get that, when the church would get that information, they would use that across the pulpit to tell you, see what happened when you leave. Their children didn't get locked up while they were here. Their car didn't get crashed into while they were here. And so we, thinking like, maybe if you leave, tragic stuff will start happening to you. Honey, listen, tragic stuff was happening to us up in there, and we were still sitting there, but not to that degree. So we bought into, that was another way of manipulating us. So for those that don't know, you guys probably don't know, I don't think I ever discussed this. In the church, I'm a prophet. So if you don't know what a prophet is, you can Google what a prophet is, or I can tell you simply what a prophet is. A prophet is somebody that knows something that nobody else knows. I don't know. I'll sit there and honey, I'll sit there. You ever seen those people in church and they'll pray and they'll say, God said, I don't know. Just whatever. God said something, that your husband is struggling with drugs and God's going to deliver him off of it. No, but I don't know that. And you never told me that, but God knows that. So that's what happens when I preach. So I am a preacher, you guys. So that's what happens when I preach. Stuff will come out, you'll touch people and stuff like that, and you'll touch them or whatever, and God will give you revelation, something personal about their life, not just something general, like you got some money coming. Okay, I got some money coming next Monday, y'all, when I get paid. So that's not, you know what I'm saying? If you go to work, you get a check coming. So yeah, you got money coming. That's how that goes. But it's personal things that nobody else will know about you except God give that to you. So I was a prophet. I'm a prophet, and the pastor wife was a prophet as well. And so I guess she didn't like, in her mind, it was competition. So one time they had went out of town. Remember, I told you I was a second assistant pastor. They had went out of town, and they leave me in charge when they go out of town, which is fine. I know how to run the service, open the service, and all of that stuff. And so the Spirit of the Lord came upon me, and I started prophesying to people. And I mean, he's going in, boom, 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 just saying, telling all kinds of stuff about people. Well, the things that I told the people, which unbeknownst to me, I knew nothing about some of the personal things of those people that I spoke to. And most time, I don't even remember what I said, because you're just in that moment, or if I can explain it to you, you're in the zone or whatever, and I really don't remember it. And so it wasn't even 24 hours afterwards that things that the Lord had me speak to them begin to happen like that. And so they came back from out of town, and they asked everybody. They would never call you and ask you how the service go. They would call other people to get their opinion of how the service went. And they gave great accolades. Oh my God. Remember I told you they called me Woodard. Oh my God, Woodard was this, she that. Oh my God, the service was this. It was good. It was da. All this good stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, then great. So I'm working at Jackson Hewitt one day, y'all. I don't work everywhere. I'm working at Jackson Hewitt like a week or so later after that. Now, mind you, all good accolades. Who doesn't want to leave somebody in charge and then get good feedback? So he calls me at Jackson Hewitt, and he'll say, well, at work, Jackson Hewitt, whatever. And he says, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay, can you make it fast? Because I'm at work. At this time, I got a different mind frame now. Before I'd be like, oh yeah, what you need? And try to go to the bathroom or whatever, to have this conversation. I said, okay, you have to make it fast because I'm at work. I'm in a different mindset before. I never had that type of language with them before. And so he was like, yeah, I don't want you to prophesy anymore. I said, why not? I said, did something happen? Did I say something wrong? He said, no. You said everything right. I said, did somebody say I was off with what I said? He said, no. Everybody said you was right. And, so-and-so said this happened the next day and that happened the next day and da. And I said, so what's the problem? He was like, well, it's just a whole lot of prophecies out there. We just need to wait for some things to come to pass. I said, okay, some things that happen immediately, you guys, and some things are futuristic. So some things don't happen right then, but it'll happen on down the line. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, so what's really the deal? Well, yeah, she thought maybe if you didn't prophesy anymore. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do here. Don't put me up there to preach no more. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about true, real preachers. Not the kind you see on, whatever. A real preacher don't really want to preach. Ain't nobody listens. Those in positions, the true ones that's in position really don't want a position. You don't want a title because you know the responsibility of a title. You don't want God to use you like that. You ain't looking for that position if you're really taking it serious. You know how hard it is working with people? I work in retail. Do you know how hard it is working with people and teaching people and pastoring people and doing it for real, and you're not doing it for money? It's not lucrative. It is really not lucrative. That's why I guess some people get into to scam folks, because if you're looking for a great cash payout, maybe some years down the line, you'll, receive money or somebody will bless you for preaching at their church or what have you. But most of the times, the average person is not TD Jakes. The average person is not those big name people that get all this millions of dollars. That's just not the average. You know how many local churches you have in your area that are just struggling pastors that's trying to just lead God's people and whatever. So I told him, I said, well, don't put me up there to preach no more. It don't matter to me. I said, because if you're going to say I can't be all who God has called me to be, I don't want to preach. It don't make no never mind to me. Honey, I got plenty of things to do around here. He said, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said, really, that is what you're saying, because it happens while I'm preaching. So if you don't want that part, I'm not going to hold that part and give you this part because somebody's jealous. I just don't have time. I said, well, let me get back to work. Click, and hung up. So that vexed my spirit. So I was at work one day and I said, I got to get up out of here. This is not it. I said, this is not it. I said, you can treat me any kind of way you want to treat me, but you're not going to stifle what God has called me to be. Now that we just ain't going to play with that. Now, ain't that crazy? All that stuff that they did to me and to my kids, I just felt really some type of way about now you're trying to totally kill out or hold back who God has called me to be. I just couldn't go for it. Listen, let me get up out of here. So I called my aunt. God loved my aunt. I called my aunt. She lived out of town. And I called her crying because y'all, I was scared. I knew, you know how you know you gotta go, but you petrified. Just talking about it, you guys, and like recreating and talking with you and revisiting this story, my stomach is like jittery because I'm living in that absolute, like in my mind where I'm telling you this, I'm living in that moment. And I could feel that fear that was on me back then just to tell you guys this story. So was I at work one day? I was thinking about leaving again at work one day, that same week. And when I got home, that's what it was. I got home and I was sitting in my living room on the love seat. I never forget it. Had an orange leather couch. It was bad, y'all. And I called my aunt. I said, hey, Amy, can I talk to you? She said, sure, baby, go ahead. Now, mind you, me and my aunt don't even talk that much at all. And I said, Amy, I want to leave that church. And she said, it's about time. Child. Now, one thing about my aunt, baby, let me tell you something. I know I look crazy looking at this camera. But let me tell you something about my aunt. She don't play when it comes to the Lord. Baby, she don't play. This woman is full, honey, of wisdom. And she done seen some mess. She done sat under some mess. She done been in some mess. She know when something ain't right. This is what she told me. Now, she had got married probably about 3 years prior, and I went to her wedding, and it was her second wedding. It was real beautiful. I gave her a hug. She said, you should have got out of there. She said, I seen you 3 years ago when you came to my wedding, and you was tore up from the floor up on the inside. Child, she told me, she said it looked like a tiger had scratched across you because all the blood that she saw, like internally. You know how people wound you. You got wounds on the inside. The blood that was on the inside. And she said, I wanted to tell you then, but you weren't ready. And what she yelled in my ear, she said, get out. She yelled. I ain't going to yell it loud because I've been woke the neighbors up. But she said, get out. Run for your life. Get out of there. And then I told her, I said, but I'm going to be cursed. She was like, no, you ain't going to be cursed. That's the devil. That's a lie. You going to be blessed and they know it. Get out. And I said, okay, Annie, okay. And I said, I'm going to write her. She said, write him a letter. Tell him you gone. And we hung up the phone. Y'all, I never wrote a letter so fast in my life. I wrote a note. I am done with being here. I didn't go into no whole whatever. I'm going to, I need to leave. This is not the place for me. Child, I got in my car, honey, with my little bit of gas. My car was sounding like Baron car. Honey, it was tore up, honey. I rode down to that church right before Bible class. And the deacon that used to come to your house and pick up the money, he was down there vacuuming. And I walked in, y'all, I was scared as a dog, baby. So I walked in and he said, hey, I said, hey, what's going on? He was like, nothing. He was like, you here early? I was like, no, I need to stop here real quick. And then I just need to stop here real quick. And he said, oh, okay then. And I took, and the Bible was on like the podium and it was already open because they would leave the Bible sitting up there. And I put the note up underneath the little Bible thing and had it peeking out. I put the envelope up underneath there, had it peeking out a little bit. And I got in my car, honey, and I rode home. And when I got in the house, I was like, whew. And I just sat there stunned. Now, mind you, years later, remember I told you Tracy went to the church too. Remember Tracy told them, run, tell that. If you ain't watched that video, go back and watch that one. At the same time that I was going down there and was when I was talking to my aunt on the phone, Tracy, in her spirit, something said, get out of there. And Tracy didn't even have a car. Tracy didn't even call me because Tracy didn't want me to try to talk her out of leaving. Tracy was on her way, you guys, riding the bus to come down there to leave them a note to tell them that she was leaving too. And we hadn't even talked to each other. Honey, listen. So when Tracy left, I got home. Maybe a few hours later, I was scared. I wasn't going to call nobody. I'm waiting for my phone to ring. And I was like, I'm not answering the phone. I told my husband what I had did. I told my kids what I did. And they was like, good. They was so happy. So I ended up calling Tracy that night. And I told her, I said, Tracy, I left the church. She said, you what? I said, I left the church. She said, I left tonight too. I said, what? I said, did you leave a note? Tracy said, honey, I was going to leave a note, but he was down there. So I talked to him in the car. Baby, Tracy sat up in that car and read that man up one way and down the other, baby, in his own car. In his own car. And then the wife tried to get Tracy to stay, and Tracy said, it ain't nothing. Before the wife could open up her mouth to say, you know, we sorry that my sisters told him, said, it ain't nothing you can say to make me stay. And Tracy walked up out that door and caught the bus home. And we was thinking the same thing around the same time and had not even talked to each other. Y'all, I left after that. I was so happy, but I was so scared. Now I had to deprogram myself, which took maybe about a good year to deprogram myself that it was okay to have money. It was okay to not be in church 24/7. It was okay to speak up for yourself. It was okay to set boundaries. to set boundaries. It is okay to not, my pastor is not going to be in all my personal business, not unless I tell you my personal business. It is okay to serve God without the restraints of man. Let me tell you something. It's easy to serve God. He got 2 commandments, y'all, 2 of them. Love him with your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the 2 commandments. Now, man, it's hard to serve man because, honey, man will flip Tuesday one day, Wednesday this day, Thursday this day, and Friday that day. It's hard to serve man, but it's not hard to serve God. So after I end up leaving, and y'all, I used to do hair on the side. I told you I was a licensed cosmetologist. Remember I was about to fight that girl at the salon? I was doing the majority of the church people hair. Honey, he had told them, don't get your hair done by her because her fingers curse. Child, my fingers don't look curse. Told the people don't cut them because my fingers curse. I said, well, wait a minute. My fingers was making your hair grow, honey, before now. All of a sudden, I done left my fingers curse. So my fingers supposed to be like this because my fingers curse. So they stopped coming because they said their hair was going to get cursed. Child, so I guess I was going to be making people's hair fall. I said, wait a minute, Jesus. And then they told the kids there. Now, my kids was cool with some of the kids. Remember I told you the one lady that they was dogging her daughter out real bad. Her and my daughters were friends. They all basically had grew up together. Told them don't play with them no more. Don't hang out with them no more. So they couldn't hang with my kids no more. I mean, they was doing everything to try to get me to come back. And it was times that I would get little secret phone calls they didn't know from their kids, from the pastor's kid, and would say, would you please come back? And I said, no. I said, no, I'm gone. What do you want? And they would say, he's going off in every Bible class about you leaving. He keep ranting and raving and ranting and raving. I said, he gonna have to get over it. I said, I'm never coming back. I said, if you want to call me just to talk about anything in general, then you can. But if you calling me trying to persuade me to come back, I'm not coming back. Don't call me because we ain't going to have no conversation about that. Told him I love him because I did. I had to forgive him for all that stuff. But I still loved him. And I told him I loved him and hung up the phone with him. Child, but my fingers cursed now, y'all. That's what they say. My fingers was cursed. I said, boy, if I would have bought into that lie, come on. Come on. Honey, after that, other people started coming getting their hair done. It didn't stop nothing. Y'all, I had money, not judgments, but settlements that was supposed to come to me that kept getting held up for like years and years and years. And I didn't know why. I did everything that I knew to do to try to get this money to be rightfully released to me. Don't you know, after I left there, it was probably like, 6 months later. Yeah, I left in May. Money came in November. It was 6 months later, honey. All that money got released to me finally. You know why I got released at that time, y'all? Because now I'll be able to enjoy it. Honey, me and my kids did it up. We had a good old time with that money. Got some things for the house, but if I would have been there, they would have sucked that money dry. Ooh, yeah. The Cult series. Child. But the next one, we're going to end on Friday. We done did this for 2 weeks, y'all. The next one, we end on Friday. I'm going to tell you about the other people leaving. And baby, listen, by this time, it was a hot diggity mess. I got to tell you, honey, it was horrible, y'all. You guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, you guys. It's, like I told you, it's in your budget because it's totally free. Go ahead and click the bell for notifications. We load videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Unless, y'all, we got situations and complications. That's the only reason why we don't load the videos. And then go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Leave comments. I'll get back with you. Guys, I thank you for all your support, you guys. I love telling my little stories, and it really encourages my heart when you guys put down there like, I be listening like this on Netflix. Because I was telling somebody today, I said, you don't know how many times I was like, girl, quit telling them stories. Ain't nobody, you know, how you just be like, let me just throw it to the side. But you guys, those little comments like that really, really keep me excited about telling my little stories. Who would ever thought? It's so much simpler than me doing all them mukbangs and buying all that stuff, trying to make it happen. Found my niche. Sit in the chair, girl, put a blanket around you, and call it story time for the bedroom. It don't get no easier than this. Y'all, let me take me and my little fingers. I'm scratching down the bed, y'all. Have a great Wednesday because it's a hump day, and I'll see you on Friday. Peace.